Alrighty, so it is halftime between the Vancouver Whitecaps and LAFC. I am going to do the review of one of these four games that is happened in the last 2 days because yesterday I was out the whole day. I wasn't able to do the review after these game is over, but I'll do the review of the New York Red Bulls versus FC Cincinnati now. Then after the LAFC versus Vancouver game is over, I'll do the review of FC Dallas versus Seattle Sounders, and then I'll do the review of the St. Louis Sporting KC game, and finally do the review of the LAFC versus Vancouver Whitecaps game. And before you ask why I'm doing this individually, why can't I just combine them? Well, it's because we're in the playoffs. In the playoffs, I think it's deservedly that we want to talk about each of this game individually rather than just kind of combine like what we did in the regular season. And also, I'm basically watching these game in full. I don't really watch highlights in terms of these game in the playoffs because these are crucial matchup, especially now that we're into game two of the best of three series in these round one matchup. But what we saw in this game between the Red Bulls and Cincinnati for the first time is a game that went to a shootout. So far, no game has went to a shootout after it ends in a draw. This was the first one, and probably in a classic shootout fashion involving MLS team. It took a while for this to go through because it feels like this year, whether we've seen it in the Leagues Cup or in this playoff, that is, shooter has to go at least 7 or 8 round, and that crazy things have happened in terms of a PK shootout. But early on, there was a shout for a penalty not given to the Red Bulls, as I thought Cincinnati, they were having problem in terms of the turnover and was having problem because of the Red Bulls press. We saw a little bit of that in the last game. I mean, even though Cincinnati did win that relatively well, the Red Bulls did have some success at times in terms of their press, and Cincinnati had trouble in terms of trying to play out of it. But despite that, there was no shots in the first 20 minutes. And again, that just kind of sums up the season for the New York Red Bulls. It doesn't matter if they are the better team or their press is effective. They just don't have that final third quality. Well, except maybe for a couple of games, and that game in the wild card game against Charlotte was kind of an outlier. But 21st minute, we did finally see the first shot of the game as Manuel would puts it high on the curler. And the first shot for Cincinnati did see Baji heads it high from the corner. And then we saw the first shot on target with Cornell denying Baji from the near post. Cornell had to come up big in this game because Cincinnati had some really good opportunity in this one. And the same goes for Roman Salatano. I think this was a relatively even play game, and that I think it was also no surprise to see that this one did go the distance. But as I said here, Cincinnati was definitely looking threatening on the counter, and that's going to be something the Red Bulls have to be aware of because if you decided to play the press, and if the team is able to get behind your original press, yeah, they're going to find a lot of space, and we know the Cincinnati team is a very dangerous team on the transition. There was another shout for a penalty from the Red Bulls not given in the 27th minute before Cornell absolutely robbed Vasquez on a point blank header here. I mean, Vasquez just had a point blank effort there. Cornell just with some cat like reflexes to palm that one away. And then we have some coming together. And it's a shame the fact that, as spoiler alert, there's not going to be a game three in terms of this series because, yeah, this was a very heated affair in terms of what we've seen in the first two games. And we once again saw it here in game two. Something coming together between both of these teams. There was definitely some name calling going on. Well, the coming together happened. But in the 43rd minute, Cornell would deny Barriel from close range. We had some more coming together because, again, both these teams, they do not like each other. This is a very high stake kind of game. And it also kind of is not surprised that we have a lot coming together because there's been a lot of fouls that has happened in this one. There's been 21 fouls that's been committed in the first 43 minutes. So basically, every 2 minutes in this game, we have a foul. So yeah, it's no surprise that you can see tempers are definitely flaring with the way that with just so much fouls that is going on. You're gonna definitely start to get in the skins of your opposition when you do that. But that being said, in the 45th minute, the opening goal did happen. It's John Barlow that scores the opening goal to give the Red Bulls a 1-0 lead. There was a check to see if Barlow was in an offside position, which VAR says no. Honestly, if that was yes, I mean I don't think anybody should be surprised, or even Red Bulls fans should be surprised because Tom Barlow has always been a guy that have suffered so many bad luck kind of moments, and that would be just classic Tom Barlow if he had a goal that he scored, but it was rule offside. But yeah, that gives the Red Bulls a 1-0 lead. By the way, that was probably the loudest I've heard the celebration at Red Bull Arena. Red Bull Arena was definitely bouncing in this game, and even though I know Red Bull Arena has been a big criticism in terms of the Red Bulls fan not showing up to support their team. I mean, yes, there were definitely some empty seats, but that was probably the most filled I've seen Red Bull Arena has done this season, minus the Inter Miami versus Red Bulls game, because we know that game was sold out completely because, a certain Argentine and a certain guy that just won the 8th Ballon d'Or was playing in that game. But in the second minute of stoppage time, Salutano had to deny Duncan from close range. The Red Bulls were buzzing late in the first half. They were pressing to trying to get the second, and Cincinnati, they know that they need halftime because the Red Bulls were pushing for a second. The good news for Cincinnati, they were able to hold it within just one as the Red Bulls head to the locker room with a 1-0 lead. In the second half, Duncan did try to go for another, but he blasted high from close range. The Red Bulls continued to deploy the press, which again, Cincinnati was having a lot of problem in terms of dealing with. Dylan Nealis then headed right to Salutano from the corner, and then Bupenza was in on goal here, but Dylan Nealis with a crucial block here. I mean, if he didn't make that block, that probably could have been 1-1 in this game. And I thought Cincinnati started to ramp up some pressure. They were trying to tie it up. Bupenza would miss wide from the header, but then in the 75th minute, he would not miss, as he is on target here from Acosta to tie the game up at 1 apiece. It came off of a lightning counterattack, which again, I've said it in the first half. The Red Bulls got to be careful not to get caught on the transition. This Cincinnati team is very dangerous on the transition there, and yeah, they got caught there, the Red Bulls, in terms of the lightning counterattack. And yeah, that ties the game up at 1 apiece. Luquinhas then tried to retake the lead for the Red Bulls, but he missed wide after just a kind of a training ground set piece effort. You usually don't see, though, that comes off well, but Luquinhas almost had a chance to get the lead back for the Red Bulls. And really, as the time winds down, it looked like Cincinnati was the one that was dictating the plays. It looked like they were trying to get the late winner, trying to get themselves into the second round of the playoffs and win this best of 3 series. And Cornell had to make some big save again. He denied Barrial from close range after just a bad giveaway from the Red Bulls. Yeah, you don't want to do that against this Cincinnati team. And then Vasquez would pulls it wide in the near post. And then Token had a shot that took a deflection and goes high before in the 6 minute stoppage time. We thought Cincinnati got the late winner. In fact, we thought that we saw a shade of Harris Medunian happen in this one as Lucho Acosta scored an Olympico goal there. By the way, for those that don't know the Harris Medunian kind of reference, Harris Medunian did score an Olympico go against the New York Red Bulls. I believe, was it 2020? Yeah, it was in the COVID short year that Medunian basically scored the Olympico goal there, and it looks like Lucho Acosta did it again. But the problem was there was a foul in the box, and this was definitely the right call. I mean, you can clearly see that there was like 2 Cincinnati player that was obstructing Cornell there, and that when you obstruct the goalkeeper like that, yeah, that's in hockey that basically is called goalkeeping interference. In soccer, we just say that yeah, you can't do that, and the goalkeeper will always get the benefit of the doubt when he's trying to get to the ball. So the goal was disallowed, and it stayed 1-1, but the Cincinnati player did not agree with that. In fact, as the full-time whistle was blown, the Cincinnati players were surrounding the referee. They were very upset about the goal being chopped off, and Miazga actually got himself booked book in this sequence because of dissent. Remember this yellow card because it would play a big role heading into the PK shootout. So we go to the shootout, and in the shootout, Tolkien had a chance to win it for the Red Bulls, and you would think that he would do so because he's come up big for the Red Bulls throughout the latter part of the season. I mean, he's the reason why they're in this place in the first place, getting that PK goal late against Nashville, but he missed it. He hits the post here in round 5, and then remember how I talked about Miazga getting a yellow right near the end of this game because of dissent, or actually after the regulation is over because the full time whistle was blown. Well, he of course converts the penalty, and he basically decided to celebrate by blowing kisses to the crowd. Now, obviously, Red Bulls fans were not happy about that, so yeah. Basically, the referee feels like he was not happy about that either. So you're going to give him a yellow card again. Now, I don't know if the referee forgot that Miazga was already on a yellow card because, yeah, that's a second yellow card. And that, because of that, Miazga is going to be missing the second round game that is going to be coming up of whoever they will face in the second round, and that is a big loss for the Cincinnati team. I mean, unless if they can appeal this, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like that was kind of a soft second yellow card. Though you could also make the argument that if you're Miazga, I mean, I get it. You want to rile up the crowd and stuff like that, but still, that wasn't even the winning penalty of this game. And that, yeah, when you're on a yellow card already, yeah, you probably maybe not might not try to do that. And I don't know if the disciplinary committee is going to overturn that, but yeah, if they're not going to overturn this, that is a big loss for the Cincinnati team, especially with the presence that Miazga bring to this back line. And again, there was no red card that was shown, but it was pretty clear that that was a second yellow card. And again, I think the referee forgot that he was already on yellow card. It didn't really matter in the end because of how this PK shootout would win. Because after that, we saw both teams miss their penalty in round 9, so the Red Bulls had two times a chance to win this from a PK shootout, and they weren't able to do so. And in round 10, we saw the pivotal moment that wins the game for Cincinnati after Moreno converts his penalty. Sanotano was able to deny Reyes from the spot, and that wins the penalty for Cincinnati. So, yeah, in 10 rounds, Cincinnati was able to outlast the Red Bulls 8-7 in the PK shootout and move on into the second round of the playoffs, winning 2-0 in this best of 3 series. The shots in this one, 15 shots for the 13 that Cincinnati has, 5 shots on goal for the 3 that the Red Bulls had, 5 shots off target for the 4 that Cincinnati has, 4 shots on the block for the 7 that the Red Bulls had, and possession-wise, 63% possession compared to 37% possession the Red Bulls has in this game. And again, it's such a shame that we don't see another game in this one, because I would love to see another game, especially how feisty this affair is. But ultimately, I mean, if you're a Red Bulls fan, would you call this a That's So Metro moment? I mean, at least maybe in the PK shot, you can say it's a That's So Metro moment, because they had twice an opportunity to put this one away and send this to game 3 and set game 3 in Cincinnati, but they're not able to do so. And that, yeah, for the second consecutive season, they got knocked down in the first round by FC Cincinnati. And for Cincinnati, it wasn't pretty for them to get the result, but they don't care. They're moving on into the next round, and we'll see who they, of course, will be faced in the next round. As a little spoiler alert before what we saw in that St. Louis and Sporting KC game, they're the first team that basically punched their tickets to the next round of the playoffs. But there you have it. That is pretty much it in terms of looking at this game. And yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this game? And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button. And yeah, I, of course, will see you guys next time.